Have you ever felt caught in an endless spiral of yeses? A yes to a colleague when they ask you to do extra work, a yes to friends even when you're exhausted, or a yes to every request you genuinely don't want to fulfill? If so, then the story of Ethan, a young man who found true strength in saying no, might just resonate with you. Ethan was such a kind and gentle person that everyone adored him. He had an open heart, always willing to help others. Because of this, Ethan rarely said no to any request. Whether it was a small task at work, an urgent project requiring overtime, or a friend's favor on the weekend, Ethan always nodded. "Sure, I'll help." "No problem, I can do it." These phrases became his familiar refrain. Everyone saw Ethan as a reliable person, a hero, always ready to appear. However, behind that perpetually smiling and enthusiastic exterior, Ethan's life gradually became overwhelmingly stressful and exhausting. His schedule was packed with other people's tasks, leaving no room for personal hobbies, peaceful evenings with family, or simply a good night's sleep. He often worked through the night, skipped meals, and felt his energy completely drained. The accumulated stress made Ethan more irritable, less focused, and he even began to doubt his own worth. He wondered if he was living his own life, or merely a tool to meet the needs of others. Time for himself, for the things he truly wanted to do, seemed like a luxury. Ethan felt like he was running on a non-stop machine, with no stop button or control. The turning point came on a rainy afternoon. Ethan was on his way home after a 12-hour workday, utterly exhausted. Suddenly, he saw a small dog hit by a car, barely alive by the roadside. Ethan's compassionate heart wouldn't allow him to ignore it. He stopped, carefully picked up the dog, and took it to the nearest veterinary clinic. That entire night, Ethan stayed by the dog's side, worried for its life. The next morning, when the dog was out of danger, the vet looked at Ethan with grateful eyes and said, "Would you like to adopt him? You seem like someone who truly loves animals." That offer felt like a knife cutting into Ethan's mind. He looked at the poor little dog, then at his packed work schedule on his phone. A backlog of tasks, promises to colleagues and friends, and now a tiny creature needing care. Ethan felt an immense burden weighing on his shoulders. He realized he couldn't take on any more responsibility. His life was already overloaded, and adopting the dog now would only make both of them miserable. This incident, combined with the mounting work pressure, made Ethan realize the serious consequences of being unable to say no. He was losing himself, and couldn't even properly care for the things he truly cared about. That was the moment Ethan made a difficult, yet the most liberating, decision of his life. For the first time, he said no. "I'm so sorry, doctor," Ethan said, his voice choked with emotion. "I really want to adopt him, but I know I can't properly care for him right now. My life is too busy, and I don't have enough time or energy to give him a complete home. I believe there will be a better family for him." As he uttered that no, Ethan felt a strange sensation. Initially, there was a touch of guilt, but immediately after, an unexpected relief washed over him. He had been honest with himself and with the dog. He had set a boundary, even if it was a small one, but it meant a great deal. He chose honesty and responsibility instead of trying to be a false hero. He had helped the dog find a better opportunity, and he had also helped himself avoid taking on another burden. From that moment, Ethan embarked on a new journey, learning to say no. He started with small things at work. When a colleague asked him to stay late for their project, Ethan politely declined. "I'm sorry, but I already have other plans. Maybe next time I can help." When his boss assigned him a task beyond his capacity and time, Ethan gently explained, "I'd love to contribute, but with my current workload, I'm afraid I won't be able to complete this task well without affecting the quality of other projects. Could we perhaps reevaluate priorities or find additional support?" Initially, Ethan felt uncomfortable, even afraid that people would be disappointed or angry with him. But he gradually realized the opposite. People weren't angry at all. Instead, they began to respect him more. They realized that when Ethan said yes, it was a truly valuable yes, not a reluctant one. He was no longer taken advantage of or had his time disregarded. Not only at work, but Ethan also applied this principle to his personal relationships. He learned to decline outings that didn't align with his schedule or interests, time-consuming personal favors, or negative conversations that drained his energy. He began to dedicate time to people and activities that genuinely brought joy and meaning to his life. He spent time reading books, exercising, learning a new language, and cooking delicious meals for himself. Ethan's life changed in surprisingly positive ways. He felt lighter, more energetic. The stress significantly decreased, and he rediscovered peace of mind. People not only respected him more, but also sought his advice on managing their own time and energy. Ethan no longer felt like a reluctant hero, but rather an autonomous individual, capable of deciding his own life. The lesson Ethan learned, and the lesson I want to share with you today, is this: saying no is not selfish. It is self-respect. It is a courageous act to protect your time, energy, and peace of mind. When you learn to say no to things that don't serve your purpose, you are saying yes to yourself, to your health, to your happiness, and to the things that truly matter in life. Setting personal boundaries doesn't mean you become cold or heartless. On the contrary, it helps you have enough energy and clarity to genuinely care for and help the people you love more sincerely and effectively. It helps you live a meaningful life, not out of obligation or the expectations of others, but by your own choice. Remember, you deserve a life where you are in control, not a victim of endless yeses. Be brave and say no to find true peace and strength within yourself. If you've ever felt exhausted just because you couldn't say no, I want to ask you one thing. Who are you saying yes to today? And how many times are you saying no to yourself? If Ethan's story touched you, even a little, hit like so I know you're here with me. And leave a comment with one short sentence. Today I will say no to. Maybe it's unreasonable overtime. Maybe it's a promise that drains you. Maybe it's a hangout you don't even want to go to. Write it down. Because the moment you write it, you're drawing your very first boundary. If you think this video could help a friend or a loved one who's too nice and quietly hurting, share it with them. It might be the small lifeline they need to start taking their life back. And don't forget to subscribe to stay with me for more stories of healing, lessons on boundaries, self-respect, and inner peace. Because every time you dare to say no to what doesn't deserve you, you're saying yes to yourself. See you in the next video.